It's a term used to describe someone who holds their wine glass by the bowl and not the stem. An act looked down upon in polite wine society because it changes the temperature of the wine. But who can honestly say that they always serve their wine at the right temperature, or that they even know what that temperature is at all? So for us, it's simply a sign that you like to enjoy your wine, without worrying about the do's and don'ts. We're on a mission to become the most loved wine brand in the world. The global wine market is worth over £400 billion. That £400 billion market has remained largely undisrupted, while the beer and spirits markets have reinvented themselves over the past decade, with a wave of new brands winning the hearts and wallets of younger consumers. The wine market appears traditional and stuffy in comparison. Enter Bowl Grabber, a provocative and playful brand that aims to turn stuffy category preconceptions on their head and inject a bit of fun into the world of wine. So the first question any good investor will ask is, who's the team? Well, firstly, there's me. I know next to nothing about wine, always a good thing to admit when pitching for investment in a wine business, but I do know about building brands, having worked in one of the world's largest marketing communications networks for nearly 20 years. But one man who does know about wine is BJ Dick, MW, and the important initials there are MW. That's because it stands for Master of Wine. And not only is Barry a master of wine, his unique background means he's probably the most qualified person in the world to be sourcing wine for Bowl Grabber. I'll let him explain.
I have degrees in food science and winemaking, and I've worked all over the world applying that knowledge making wine. But if that wasn't enough to make me a smarty pants, I passed the Master of Wine exam in 2013, putting me among only a handful of people in the world to be both winemakers and MWs at the same time. Even better from a brand management point of view is that I have spent the other half of my career working for big retail and some of the most successful global brands. This combination of qualifications and experience makes me a one-stop shop when it comes to putting the right wine in front of the right consumer, something we know sets us apart at Bowl Grabber.
And then supporting us, we've got a brilliant crew. From our superstar illustrator Regal, who boasts over 80,000 Instagram followers for her eye-catching style, to craft beer disruptors with a track record that speaks for itself. Mike and Sochil founded Brixton Brewery, who sold to Heineken in 2021 and now act as advisors for Bowl Grabber. So what makes Bowl Grabber different? Well, firstly, the brand itself. We've created a distinctive and memorable brand that exudes fun and enjoyment. It's already picking up rave reviews and has even featured on the homepage of world-famous design website itsnicethat.com. Next, there's the wine itself. I'll pass over to Barry to explain the strategy for pairing the right wine with our target audience.
We know that new consumers to market look for simple wine solutions in both narrative and style, so they favour entry-level varietal wines and brands. Therefore, simple brands, accessible price points, and often lots of added sugar. At the other end of the scale, we have classic wines of high quality which reflect well-established regions. Often with big reputations, these wines are sold on the basis of place, not variety. Chablis, Nuits Saint-Georges or Barossa regions. These are serious wines with serious price tags and often serious complexity. So style-wise and cost out of reach for most consumers. But in the middle, we have an under-catered for audience. An audience that have grown in confidence and income and are starting to feel more adventurous. They are looking for on-trend regions, wines they might have had on weekend breaks or tried at bars. This is where my experience comes in, finding wines that this audience will love, such as our Alvarinho, our Primitivo and Rosé wines. Wines that represent an enjoyable, easy drink and offer great value.
So that's the range, and we serve that exciting lineup in bottles, cans and bag-in-box. Bowl Grabber is very deliberately a multi-format brand. We know that drinking habits are changing and alternate formats offer more environmentally sound options. But at the same time, we recognise that glass bottles dominate the category in volume and value terms. So, what's this raise going to allow us to do? Firstly, drive product innovation. With Barry sourcing and styling, we're in the process of creating what we believe will be the world's best non-alcoholic wine. Next, sales. We've very consciously been an online-only brand to date. However, the time has come for Bowl Grabber to be on shelves nationwide, and will be hiring to make this a reality. And finally, marketing. Growth to date has been with nearly zero advertising spend, which as a marketeer has pained me. To be the most loved wine brand in the world, we need to invest in brand building. So that's it. You have a £400 billion market that's ripe for disruption, a founding team that blends brand building and wine mastery, and a brand that's fun on the outside but serious on the inside and clearly resonating with consumers. Join us and become part of building the world's most loved wine brand.